I am a man of science, not society. Now go study my brilliance. Go!
If you enjoy science and great storytelling, we've got you covered.
To science!
To science!
This is the Relativity Series from LA Theater Works and the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.
I'm Susan Loewenberg. From Bluebeard to the Brothers Grimm, we've always been fascinated by dark and unsettling tales. But the best horror stories are those that reflect some part of ourselves, in which we can face our human fears from the comforting distance of the unreal. Our story this week is about a 13-year-old outcast named Franklin Robertson, who immerses himself in late-night B-movies to protect him from the everyday pain of adolescence. But when the real world comes knocking, Franklin begins to realize that hiding in the closet is no longer an option. And now, LA Theater Works presents Dr. Cerberus by Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa, starring Simon Helberg, Pamela J. Gray, and Stephen Culp.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Channel 20 in the nation's capital, I bid you welcome to Nightmare Theater! I am your host, Dr. Cerberus. Doctor because I have PhD in fear! And I bid you greetings and salutations from the other side. Tonight's movie is an American classic in the tradition of Citizen Kane and Gone with the Wind. A little gem called Firestarter, which is about a young girl who... Well, the title kind of says it all, doesn't it? But it stars George C. Scott, right before he fired his agent. And Drew Barrymore, or as I like to call her, Drool Evermore. Now, you're going to want to pay close attention to this one, folks. In several key sequences, if you look close enough, you can actually see the hairdryer that blows in little Drew's face every time she squints her little eyes and sets something on fire with the power of her mind. So, sit your very bones down. Oh, look, you already are sitting. Dim the lights! Double check that the doors and windows are all locked. No monsters under the bed? Good. Now, without further ado, I give you Firestarter!
All right, Franklin, from the beginning.
The beginning. You're a little kid lying in bed, waiting to go to sleep, wishing you were someone else, whatever that thing is. Your secret dream of yourself. For me, it was Luke Skywalker's son. Or Robin, the boy wonder. Or teen adventurer Johnny Quest.
We're waiting, Buster. We can wait all night if we have to. Your dad and I are like sharks. We don't need sleep.
Eventually, of course, most people stop wishing, pretending, or, they go for it.
Douchebag.
Lawrence.
Franklin.
At this moment in time in history, I'm 13 years old. My mom buys me clothes from the husky aisle at Sears. Because, well, I'm pretty husky. It is 1983, and my older brother and I are sitting on the couch in our living room, and
Can I just ask, why am I here? This isn't my fault. I didn't do anything. I wasn't even at home.
Actually, Rodney, not being at home is doing something, a punishable something. Not being at home is willfully ignoring your fraternal duty.
How did it come to pass, Franklin, that our house was on fire?
well, I was in the basement watching TV.
That's first on the list. Keep a list, Lawrence. All television privileges suspended indefinitely for the both of you. No, not indefinitely. Infinitely.
But I didn't do shit.
Mouth, Rodney, shut it.
Go on, Franklin. You were watching that thing that you will never watch again, I promise you. And
I heard like a door slamming, and I thought it was Rodney slamming a door.
I wasn't even at home, you homo.
logical assumption. Since your older brother's never met a door he hasn't slammed. And you, go ahead and call Franklin that one more time, Rodney. You go ahead and push me. Continue, Franklin. You heard something like your brother slamming a door and...
I went to investigate.
Sherlock homo.
Thin ice, Rodney, cracking.
Then what, Franklin?
Well, I searched the house for any sign of Rodney or possibly an intruder, but there wasn't anyone and nothing seemed disturbed.
No, because the only disturbed thing in this house is me, and I was at work. Go on.
Don't start down that pathology, Lydia. I work too. This is my busiest time.
Yes, tax time. But you know what, Mr. H&R Block? At my bank, where I am head teller, it is always our busiest time.
Can I go now, please?
Sit down! You searched the house. No sign of anyone, and so you...
I poured myself a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Sugary cereals! That's second on the list, Lawrence. No more sugary cereals ever. Lucky the Leprechaun, bye-bye. Toucan Sam, history. Tony the Tiger, where's my shotgun? From now on, unflavored, lukewarm, overcooked oatmeal for everyone. Oh, yes. Yes, I am going Oliver Twist on this family.
A vat of cereal, even though I'd made his fat ass like 2 Hungry Man dinners half an hour before.
I thought you weren't at home.
I wasn't. I was at Sean's.
Then why are you speaking right now? Go on, Franklin. What happened while you were stuffing your pudgy face with dehydrated, cancer-causing, poison-dyed mini marshmallows?
Well, the doorbell rang, and I answered the door, and it was Mr. Chow.
Franklin!
Of course he'd be involved. Proceed.
Okay, well, you know how Mr. Chow talks?
Gobbledygook, yes, every other word unintelligible.
Lydia.
I'm just stating a fact, Lawrence. I love that Mr. Chow and his multi-generational family live next door to us. I love that Grandmother Chow, she brings us wonderful sense of mysticism to our neighborhood watch meetings. Go on, Franklin.
Well, he was talking real fast, and I thought Mr. Chow said, my house is on fire, meaning Mr. Chow's house. So I told him to come in, and I called 911, and they transferred me to the fire department.
Can you imagine? Which means, by the way, they now have a file on us.
Well, someone came on the line, and I said, basically, hi, I'm here with my neighbor. He says his house is on fire. But then Mr. Chow started shaking his head, and he said,
No, your house on fire.
mine?
Meaning ours.
Meaning this roof here over our heads.
Yours, yes, hurry.
Meaning our home.
I had misunderstood him, I guess.
Retard fat ass faggot.
Rodney!
But then, when the true meaning of Mr. Chow's gibberish came clear, you gave the fire department our address. Or had they already traced the call by this point?
No,
No, what you do?
I hung up.
On the fire department?
Dumbass.
I wanted to assess the situation for myself before involving the authorities.
Unbelievable. And?
Mr. Chow was like,
Come. I assure you.
we went outside around to the backyard and, the wood pile was on fire.
My woodpile?
Your father's woodpile. The one he's been stockpiling in preparation of a nuclear winter we won't even live to see. Because the warheads, when they come, and oh, they are coming. On that point, there is little doubt. But the warheads, knowing our luck, the old Robertson luck, they will most certainly be aimed right at our block. The woodpile that is flush up against the side of the house, even though I assured your father that it was a fire hazard, that we were begging for some arsonist to target us.
Yes.
Never imagining that the arsonist would be a member of our own family.
I love that woodpile. I amassed that woodpile split log by split log with my own 2 hands.
No way are we related. No way do we share the same DNA.
Anyway, Mr. Chow got his hose and our hose, and we both, trained them on the fire.
Which, by this point, must have been a towering inferno, I'm surmising, based on the blackened scorch marks, the melted drain pipe, the acrid stench of smoke that has permeated every room in this house.
It was pretty big, yeah, but after, half an hour,
my God.
we, managed to put it out.
High five.
High five.
How did it start, Franklin? The fire.
How did it goddamn start?
I think maybe...
Wait a second. Before you answer your father, may I say the following. There are such things as polygraph machines in this world, my son. My son. And we, your father and I, have access to them.
I was in the backyard with my action figures, and I was playing near the woodpile, and I was melting them with a blowtorch.
With a what? Excuse me, with a blowtorch?
A can of hairspray and a lighter, I think he means.
And how would you know?
It's common knowledge, Mom.
Amongst whom?
Men, Lydia. Men have carried that knowledge within them since Prometheus stole fire from the gods.
At any rate, were these the action figures you begged for Christmas?
Yes.
Number 3 on the list, no more toys. Now, bring it home, Franklin.
When I was finished, I buried my action figures, the dead ones, and then I hid the can of hairspray in the woodpile.
Idiot, you get rid of evidence. You don't hide it at the scene of the crime.
I swear to God, when I finished, before I went back inside, I swear, I checked to make sure nothing was burning.
Oh, well, what a relief. Did you hear that, Lawrence? We raised a conscientious firebug.
And the mysterious door slam?
I think maybe that must have been the can of hairspray exploding, because I hid it in the wood pile, which must have been burning still. And, like it says on the back of the can, caution, contents highly flammable.
Do you know who the Furies are, Franklin? From ancient Greek mythology, since we're invoking Prometheus tonight.
Well,
I am the Furies, young man. I am. And you, my young sir, are Orestes, young man. You are Orestes. And you will be judged.
Mom,
This house is everything we own, Franklin. Everything. Look around you. Every scrap your father and I have struggled for, have sacrificed for, every single one of our belongings is housed within these 4 walls. Paltry and pathetic, there you have it, our threadbare version of the American dream. Now, imagine, try using that amazing imagination I'm always hearing about. What would have happened if you had actually succeeded in burning down our house, my precious lamb?
I have no idea.
I'll enlighten you. I would have killed myself.
Oh, Mom,
For God's sake, Lydia!
The same way your father gathers wood for some impending nuclear holocaust, I gather pills for my own private, personal holocaust. Pills that come in bottles with bright, bold, colorful warning labels. Pills that, when ingested in the right combination and quantity, will result in cardiac arrest, lung collapse, kidney failure, closing of the esophagus.
Lydia, you're scaring him.
I am telling him the facts, the simple facts of life and death. I want you to think about those pills, young man, the next time it occurs to you to pick up a can of hairspray.
Mommy, I'm sorry.
No movies, no comic books, no going out. You go from home to school, from school to home. As of right now, your allowance is funneled towards repairing the fire damage, towards dry cleaning the stench out of our clothes, our furniture, towards my pills, which, oh yes, I will continue stockpiling, towards the psychiatrist we are going to hire to cure you of your budding pyromania. Towards...
Enough, Lydia. The point is made.
You've broken my heart. All of you. You two Prometheus. Go to your rooms.
Mommy.
Your room, Franklin. And better get used to it, because it's where you're going to be spending the rest of your life.
All right, Mom. Mom, what about me?
Everything I said to Franklin
Yeah?
applies to you as well.
What? But the Redskins, the playoffs, we're going all the way this year.
They might be, Rodney, but you, my firstborn, are staying far, far behind.
Dad!
You were supposed to, at a minimum, make sure Franklin didn't burn the house down.
Oh, man.
It's odd. I can't remember a single thing about my life before those two monsters crawled out of my womb. No, I shouldn't call them that. I know they're my sons. I love them. I'd kill for them. I'd die for them. I used to take pictures, good ones. I remember that. I wanted to be a photojournalist, a fashion photographer. I used to dream. Of course, that was all before I discovered the daily joys and satisfactions of being a bank teller.
It's just for right now, Lyd. Once we dig out from this hole...
We almost lost everything today, Lawrence.
We didn't.
Franklin could have there could be a serious problem there.
No, every boy goes through I don't know, a fire phase. I did. He made a mistake, Lydia.
Are we all right?
We are. We're fine.
Dear Dr. Cerberus, I feel somehow as if you're the only person in the world who truly understands me. It's hard to explain for a boy of 13, but I watch your program, and for some otherworldly reason, I feel a sense of... is kinship too strong a word? Lately, I've been imagining what you do when you're not hosting Nightmare Theater. I imagine you in your hearse, your monster mobile, as you so wittily call it, driving around the country. I picture myself sitting next to you in your car, taking notes as your biographer, since I believe I've shared with you in the past I fancy myself a bit of a writer. And it is a lifelong dream of mine to chronicle your adventures, and there, I suppose, is the rub. I am asking you to take me under your wing, or cape, and mentor me and let me come live and work for you as an assistant/personal biographer in the crypt of nightmares. I have enclosed a resume and sample short story, and I eagerly, double underline, eagerly await your response. Franklin Robertson.
Franklin Robertson!
P.S. No pressure, Dr. Cerberus, but time is sort of the essence.
You're up next, boy!
PE class with Coach Stapp. I tried to take art appreciation, but the powers that be at Thomas Jefferson Technical High wouldn't let me.
You are such dead meat now, Biscuit.
My brother is Coach Stapp's lackey, because he's on the lacrosse team and is therefore excused from his own PE class.
Strip, boy!
Day of reckoning, bitch.
I was wondering, Coach Stapp, sir, if we could maybe possibly postpone my weigh-in?
You've been aware of this since day one, Robertson.
Well, yes, but given a chance, sir, I found that if I cut my caloric intake to 500 or 600 calories per day, the weight melts right off me. So if you were to give
Strip, Robertson, to your tidy whiteys!
Yes, sir, Coach Stapp, sir. Have you ever seen that movie, Freaks? Directed by Todd Browning, 1932. That's basically how I feel whenever I take my clothes off in public. Coach Stapp, would it be okay if we use the scale in your office, sir, so we could do this privately?
Well...
all for one and one for all, Coach.
You heard your brother.
Okay, you, Rodney, suck.
Robertson, you holding your breath, son? sucking in your gut, that's not going to alter the reading, I hate to say.
Good Lord, General Staff, have you ever seen such a thing?
Once, Private Robertson, when a meteor crashed to the Earth, bringing with it an unspeakable, amorphous horror from beyond the stars.
You mean...
That's right, Private. The Blob!
Seems like he's topping out at 171 pounds, Coach.
Someone your age, your height should be 125, 130 if they've got muscle, and you, boy, do not have muscle. You're all pudge.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
You might want to try skipping the extra shepherd's pie at lunch, taking a pass on the chocolate chip cookies. Also, borrow a page from your brother's playbook. Now, he's got some lean muscle on him.
I've tried encouraging my younger brother towards a more active lifestyle, Coach, but he remains tragically unmotivated.
Shame. Cover yourself, Robertson. You're an embarrassment. Sanders, you're up next, sweetie pie. Strap.
Thanks a lot, Rodney.
You're welcome, Biscuit. Anytime.
Why do you keep calling me that?
It's your new nickname, Biscuit.
The one thing you need to know about my brother, seriously, the one thing is he loves the Washington Redskins almost as much as I love Nightmare Theater.
This is the Redskins under the leadership of Coach Joe Gibbs. The golden years when Joe Theismann was quarterback. Listen, I know how it works in these stories. You love the sensitive younger brother with the body image issues. You dismiss the older jock brother. Right now, you're probably wondering why I'm even talking to you. And I'm cool with that. But for the record, just because someone likes sports and works out doesn't mean they don't have an inner life.
Okay, well, you humiliated me. Are we at least even now?
Are you kidding? I can't watch TV because of you. So that with Stapp was nothing. Only the beginning.
Okay, the other thing about my brother is he's a real asshole.
Language, Franklin.
Yes, Franklin, even if that's what we're all thinking about your brother, best keep such sentiments to yourself.
Hey, wait.
Living room, boys. Family meeting. Now listen up. This affects everybody. Honey.
Thank you, honey.
Gag me.
Boys, at the end of the month, your Uncle Jack is coming to live with us.
Oh my gosh, I take back that gag. My Uncle Jack lives in Los Angeles and writes for Cagney and Lacey, which means he's the coolest. I love him.
For how long?
It's a bit unclear at the moment, a few weeks at least.
Where's he gonna sleep?
Well, that's one of the things we have to discuss. Now, obviously, in one of your rooms.
No, come on.
We were thinking that if one of you were willing to give up your room, we could set up a little bachelor's pad in the basement.
Now, put a bed down there. Maybe hook up a stereo.
I'll do it. The hell you will. I'm older. It's my birthright.
In point of fact, Rodney, we were thinking Jack might be more comfortable in Franklin's room.
Yes, no, totally, he would be.
Why am I constantly being screwed in this family? I'm the one who's good looking. I'm the one who's good at sports. I'm the one who's height, weight appropriate.
Logistics, Rodney. Franklin's room is closer to the bathroom.
So, your Uncle Jack, not to be dramatic about it, but he's just had a brain tumor removed. He's getting better, but he is still not 100%. He lost a lot of weight from the chemotherapy, and his head is shaved, and he has a scar from the surgery.
If he's sick, why doesn't he stay in a hospital?
Jack is not sick, Rodney. And he is my younger brother, and I am not turning him away.
Whatever.
And your uncle's here to rest, Franklin, not to take you to the movies. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Rodney, can we count on your cooperation?
Whatever. Are we dismissed? So I can go listen to Redskins report on the radio like a blind person?
Not quite yet. Now, we also wanted to let you know that since you've both been behaving yourselves, insofar as that there have been no further instances of pyromaniacal behavior.
We wanted to let you know that the ban on television is provisionally lifted.
Yes! But you are still on my shit list, Biscuit.
Welcome back. For those of you who got bored watching Saturday Night Live and are just joining us, or those of you who woke up to get another can of beer from the fridge, and I can't say that I blame you, our film tonight is I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. That's right, we couldn't afford I Was a Teenage Werewolf. So, instead, you're getting the next worst thing.
Get out of my basement, Biscuit. Sean's here.
What, Sean Fitzsimmons? My brother's best friend, one of my reasons for living.
What's up, Franklin?
Hi, Sean.
Seriously? Biscuit, disappear.
That's whiskey.
No shit, Sherlock.
Well, underage drinking is illegal. You're gonna turn into an alcoholic.
Dad drinks every night, and he's not an alcoholic.
Yo, is that Creature Feature?
Nightmare Theater, actually, Sean, but same idea.
Faggot Theater, actually, hosted by Dr. Faggot.
Every Saturday night at midnight, it's a weekly standing date I like to keep with myself. Oh, God, did I just say that?
What's the movie?
Who cares? It's not Titty Titty Gangbang.
I was a teenage Frankenstein, American International Pictures, 1957. The body of a man-boy, the mind of a monster, the soul of an unearthly thing. Gary Conway, in a too-tight t-shirt that showed off his pecs, his triceps, played Bob the teenage monster.
Yep. Turn it up.
What the hell, Sean? I bought a fake ID so we could rent and watch Titty Titty Gangbang.
There's 3 of us, right? We'll vote.
What? No, Biscuit doesn't count. He's subhuman.
Well, I'm subhuman? Name one of the great Renaissance painters.
Name one of the Redskins' defensive linemen.
Dave Butts, Daryl Grant, and Dexter Manley. Post-game interviews in the locker room. Hot.
All right. All in favor of watching I Was a Teenage Frankenstein and then watching Titty Titty Gangbang, raise your hand. 2 against 1.
I wish it was 1 against 1, Sean. You against me, pinning me down, having your way with me.
Bullshit! Bull fucking shit! And even if we watch I Was a Teenage Homo, which we're not, you are not, repeat not, watching Titty Titty Gangbang with us.
I'll tell Mom and Dad you inserted a XXX rated movie into what is obviously a PG rated VCR.
You do? And I'll beat you so bad you piss blood for weeks.
Yo, your brother's old enough, Rodney. He knows what pussy is, don't you, Biscuit?
Yeah, of course.
The hell he does? If it's not in a comic book or in a Stephen King book or on Queerbait Theater.
Franklin, look at me. What's pussy?
It's...
Pussy, Biscuit, is the sweetest of meats. It is the best, the single most moistest place you can put your cock in when it gets hard. I mean, your cock does get hard, doesn't it? You are able to perform the hot beef injection, aren't you?
Yeah, it gets hard. It gets hard all the time. Like right now.
Of course it does, you little perv, especially when you're watching the Dukes of Hazzard, right? And Daisy Duke is wearing those little fuck me short shorts.
The best part of I Was a Teenage Frankenstein is the ending. The rest of the movie's in black and white, but the ending, when the monster gets electrocuted, is in color. A technique that was used to Academy Award-winning effect in the 1945 movie adaptation of Oscar Wilde's picture of Dorian Gray, which is also mostly in black and white, except for when you see the portrait through Dorian's eyes. Those sequences were shot in Technicolor.
It's really cool that you know all this bullcrap.
Hold me, love me, marry me.
But, like, how do you know all this bullcrap?
Because, Sean, he doesn't exercise, he doesn't talk to girls, he doesn't talk to friends, He doesn't have friends. He doesn't do anything but read and eat and watch movies and sit on the couch and watch TV. For all I know, he doesn't even jerk off. He's a freak. A lonely, pathetic, enormous, husky biscuit freak.
The amazing thing about Nightmare Theater is every week while I'm watching it for those blessed 120 minutes, including commercials, I'm not overweight. I am skinny and tan and coordinated. My hair's blonde and straight. My muscles are long and lithe. And when someone wearing a hockey mask like Jason from Friday the 13th or a William Shatner mask painted white like Michael Myers in Halloween is chasing me, I can run like the wind, and I don't trip. And I don't feel like I'm having a heart attack, and no one, not a single human being, is standing on the sidelines or in the halls or in homeroom day in and day out calling me for reasons I'm struggling to understand. Biscuit.
Stop the presses. It took a week, but I figured it out.
What, Uncle Jack?
What I'm going to buy my favorite nephew for letting me stay in his room.
What?
A Ouija board. I feel it's time you owned one. Later today, we'll take the bus to the mall.
But
Unless you already have one.
no, I don't. It's just the little girl in The Exorcist, Reagan McNeil, played by then newcomer Linda Blair. She finds a Ouija board in her house in Georgetown, which is only like 45 minutes from here, and that's how she gets possessed.
Understood. But I believe Parker Brothers makes one that's Satan-proof.
Also, I don't mind being in the basement.
Because you get to stay up late and watch TV.
Yep. On weeknights on Channel 5 at 11 o'clock, they show The Outer Limits.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture.
And then The Twilight Zone comes on at 11:30, and The Night Gallery comes on at midnight, and then...
So, I read that story you gave me.
You did.
I did. I liked it quite a bit.
Yes!
But you use the passive voice too much.
Like, what Mom does with Dad?
No, that's being passive-aggressive. Passive voice is... Say something.
I'm scared of the devil.
What? Actually, that is passive voice. And it's weak, nephew. It's weak sister construction. The devil scares me is stronger. The devil is the subject doing something. You see?
Yes.
And your use of adverbs. Quickly, slowly, happily.
Yeah?
No adverbs ever.
Yes, I agreed readily.
Also. And this is my biggest problem with it. It's exactly like the movie I took you to on Friday, Night of the Demons. Almost identical.
Yeah, I wrote it down after we saw it. That's how I write all my stories.
Which is plagiarism. Which is stealing. Which means I could have you arrested.
Yeah, but my story's called Dawn of the Demons.
Look, you can be inspired by something, that's fine, but you have to imagine it differently somehow. Goose it a certain way. Give it a twist. Flip it. Different characters, different situations, different...
Monsters?
That would help. Yes, you have to play what if.
What if?
What if there's a misfit girl in high school who has telekinesis, and she gets her revenge on all the mean girls who tease her?
Carrie! Oh, I'd love to have telekinesis. I dream about having telekinesis.
What if a family were trapped, snowbound in a haunted hotel?
The Shining. That one's so scary. I couldn't finish it.
It's a little too close to home, I understand. But you see what I'm getting at. Vampires aren't a new idea. They've been around since...
Vlad the Impaler, Varney the Vampire.
Right. But Stephen King imagined, what if I put the king of vampires in a small town in Maine?
Salem's Lot.
And then, of course, he came up with his own characters, the conflict, the structure. That's what you need to learn to do if you want to be a writer.
I do more than anything.
More than being Mr. Cerberus's assistant?
Can't I be both?
We'll ask your new Satan-proof Ouija board what it thinks.
Great, Uncle Jack. And maybe when we're at the mall, we can eat chocolate Frosties at the Wendy's in the food court.
Franklin, we're buddies, right? I can be honest with you about things not even your mom and dad would be honest with you about.
Like my stories?
And your weight.
Oh. Well, I know. I'm husky.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. I used to be husky, too.
But you're so skinny.
Well, now I am, thanks to peaches and cottage cheese, but I used to be what is referred to clinically as morbidly obese till I was 22 and a half, and after years of therapy, I have a fairly good idea why I ate as much as I did when I did, and I'm not sure, but I think it might be the same reason you eat so much.
Because I have no willpower?
Let's make a deal. While I'm here, for as long as I'm here, if you eat a little bit less every day and we go for a long walk every day, I'll buy you something, a comic book, a video, action figure, whatever you want.
Mom says you don't have any money since you stopped working.
Residuals, Franklin. Learn that word. It is among the greatest in the English language.
You don't have to buy me anything, Uncle Jack. Just help me with my stories.
Deal. We'll start our regimen today. We won't walk to the bus stop on the corner. We'll walk to the one on Colesville Road.
That far?
You'll be all right, Franklin.
What if there's a 13-year-old boy sitting in front of a mirror and he's looking at his reflection and he sees, he spies something in the mirror that's subtly different. No, not subtly, no unnecessary adverbs. A door. He spies a door in the mirror and it's a watery doorway to an alternate dimension where everyone's, they've all turned into, what? Zombies? Vampires? Werewolves? What?
Boys! Lydia! Hello? Anyone home?
Down here, Dad.
Family meeting! You all right, Franklin?
Yes, sir, just a little blocked, sir.
Your bowels?
My brain.
Does this summoning include bachelor uncles who always know exactly the right thing to say?
Of course, Jack. You're family after a fashion.
Larry Lawrence Robertson, that is the single kindest thing you have ever said to me.
Whatever it was, I didn't do it.
Settle down, Rodney. This isn't one of those meetings, or is it? Is it report card time again? Do I smell blood in the water?
No. But we are all going to the Treasures of Tutankhamun exhibit that's coming to the National Gallery.
Is this punishment for something?
What? No, it's...
It was the greatest archaeological discovery of all time, ever, and it was doing a victory lap coming back through D.C., and since we were too young the first time...
I think I'm going with my class.
You'll go twice.
No, seriously? I think they arranged a special tour for us.
We are all going to the Treasures of Tutankhamun exhibit as a family, and that is final!
We went that Sunday, the night before Dr. Cerberus screened Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
I'm gonna miss the Redskins playing the Cowboys.
I wondered how I'd be able to endure without sneaking off for a smoke. That's right, I smoke. Oh, yes. There's a lot you don't know about me.
The line to get in took forever while we waited.
All right? Who can tell us something, anything about Tutankhamun?
I prayed my dad's eyes wouldn't land on me. The only King Tut I knew anything about was the villain from the old Batman TV show.
I'm no Egyptologist, but wasn't Tutankhamun a boy pharaoh from the 18th dynasty of pharaohs?
Very good, Jack. Now, can anyone tell me what his single greatest contribution to the ancient world was?
For God's sakes, Lawrence, let us have an experience without contextualizing it to death.
He brought back the old gods. All the ones his father, Akhenaten, had outlawed, stripped of power, including Amun. Tutankhamun put them in the sky again, re-deified them.
For the record, boys, we'll be happy if you just finish high school.
Hey, did Tut have a harem?
This for like 5 hours while we inched our way down hallways and stairwells into, finally, the exhibit.
Oh, listen, everyone, from the guidebook. Presented together for the first time, 55 of the priceless objects archaeologist Howard Carter retrieved from beneath the Valley of the Kings, including, seen for the first time outside of Egypt, the Boy King's solid gold funeral mask.
What, he wore it?
No, he would wear it in the afterlife.
Can you imagine? Even King Tut had a death wish.
Franklin, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, what if a bunch of thieves broke into the museum after hours and stole King Tut's mask?
There'd be an international incident, for one.
This is hell. I'm in hell.
Yeah, but also, what if something goes after the crooks to get it back?
The police?
The mummy! Mom, King Tut's reanimated mummy.
Tomorrow, all my friends are going to be talking about how John Riggins rushed for more than 200 yards, and I didn't even set the VCR to tape it. Idiot.
A decent start. What else?
One of the thieves, when they get to their hideout, puts the mask on.
Ah, better. And? Write what scares you.
And he becomes possessed.
By Tutankhamun.
No, by... Wait, Dad, who's the guy with the fox head?
Anubis, god of death.
Anubis, take me away.
Well, maybe he, the possessed guy, maybe he kills the other thieves. Then the mask, suffocates him. So by the time the mummy finds them, they're all dead, and all King Tut has to do is pry off his mask and then take it back to the museum.
Not bad.
Well, I'll write it down when we get home.
Except for the ending. It's a nice turn of the screw, the introduction of Anubis, but King Tut going back to the museum? Slightly anticlimactic.
What does King Tut do then?
I don't know. You'll have to work out the details in the writing.
It's a remarkable story, really. In 1922, Howard Carter literally had one more chance, one more season, to find something, anything of value buried out there in the Valley of the Kings. Then, at the last gasp, at 49 years of age, he found, unearthed, stone stairs that led down to a sealed, unspoiled, undesecrated doorway.
This is all marvelous, truly. I feel like I've deepened as a person, just being exposed to these glistening artifacts. But really, I am having such a nicotine fit right now, you cannot imagine. So I will see everyone at the car.
We're not going anywhere yet. These are the treasures of Tutankhamun. If she wants to go, she can wait in the car, but no one's rushing me. God damn it.
I completely agree. That said, I prefer my Egyptians 21 or older and alive, sunning themselves on the Nile.
All right. I'm done. We can go.
You sure, Dad?
Now, boys!
Finally.
That night, I wrote a story called The Mummy's Mask and gave it to my Uncle Jack to read.
Very little passive voice, not too many adverbs. Good, strong ending. Well done.
Now what?
You put it aside for a bit. Let it cook. Marinate. Meantime, we walk to Politics and Prose. We buy a book that lists every magazine and journal out there. You go through it. You circle every outlet that publishes horror fiction. You go back to The Mummy's Mask. You cut it by 10%. You polish it. You type it up.
Well, I don't have a typewriter.
Do you at school?
Yeah.
You type it at school. We send it to the appropriate places.
Well, and it gets published?
Probably not. Probably, hopefully, you get some nice, personalized rejection letters encouraging you to keep writing, keep submitting.
I mailed 10 copies of The Mummy's Mask to 10 different magazines.
Now, forget you sent them anywhere or you'll go crazy waiting.
I ran home every day after school to check the mailbox. Well, walked quickly. I still wasn't up to jogging speed. No word for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Hey, kiddo. Want to go to Tower Records and then Roy Rogers?
This is something of a Friday night ritual if my dad's not too tired from work. I'd browse the soundtracks and videos. He'd be in the classical music section listening to
The Germans. Mozart, Don Giovanni, Wagner, The Flying Dutchman, The Ring Cycle, Norse mythologies, the Valkyries, epics about warriors and kings.
It is my father's private time. Afterwards, we'd have dinner in Georgetown.
Hey, I ordered you 3 pieces extra crispy. Come, sit down.
Across M Street, in front of the Key Theater, people are lining up for the midnight movie.
I wonder what it is.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Dad.
Oh? Well, is that why they're wearing those, colorful outfits?
People dress up as characters from the movie and get up on a little stage and act it out.
While other people are watching the movie?
It's kind of a cult phenomenon, Dad.
Really? And, have you ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
It's rated R. No one will take me. But I have the record.
You do?
You bought it for me.
I did?
Twice.
You know, the Key Theater has been on that corner since I was in college. And they had midnight movies back then, too, but it was... Oh, the big one. I remember it that ran for months and months was Night of the Living Dead. You know that one?
Yeah, Dad. George A. Romero directed it in Pittsburgh, his hometown, in 1968. Many critics and cultural historians consider it the start of the modern zombie movement in the American cinema.
Right. And to us, it was just a damn scary movie you could bring your dates to, and they'd be more likely to... How's your chicken?
Finger licking good.
And how's that biscuit you're eating?
Fine.
Franklin, the last several weeks, I've overheard Rodney and some of his buddies calling you Biscuit. Is that, your nickname?
My new one. My old one used to be...
Little Rodney, yes. And, why do you think Rodney and his friends call you Biscuit?
I don't know, sir.
Do you suspect it has anything to do with your being flaky? As in, flaky biscuit.
I'm not sure what that means.
Are they calling you Biscuit because you're flaky, meaning you like boys?
Dad.
I'm asking you, Franklin, do you like... Are you attracted to boys of the same sex?
I am, Dad. I get aroused when I'm watching The Dukes of Hazzard, but not at the sight of Daisy Duke's short shorts, at the sight of her two brothers, Bo and Luke Duke. Especially Luke, especially when his shirt is unbuttoned more than might be considered appropriate. Also, I get aroused when I'm near Rodney's friend, Sean Fitzsimmons, especially when he's wearing all his football gear, or when he's not wearing his football gear, when he's walking around the locker room buck naked, like flaunting it. I also steal glimpses at the Hustler magazines Rodney keeps under his mattress or behind the toilet bowl, but only to look at the naked men, not at the naked women.
Franklin, are you attracted to boys of the same sex?
I think maybe I am, yeah.
Okay. All right. And have you implemented these proclivities in any way?
Huh?
Have you put any of these inclinations into action?
What?
Never mind. Just, please, for your sake, for all our sakes, don't ever talk to your mother about this, all right?
My head is swimming with horror movie titles. Don't Bury the Living, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, Don't Go Into the House, and the little-known classic, Don't Talk to Your Mother About Being Flaky. Don't worry, Dad, I won't.
This is quite a cross, Franklin, to bear. If it's true, if it's your true nature.
The true nature of the werewolf is to kill that which it loves.
An extremely heavy cross to bear, especially when there are so many other ways you could live your life with a minimum of effort, by adjusting a bit, tempering that one little sliver inside you. I think in the long run, it will be much easier for you.
Yes, sir, I understand, sir.
Good. Well, let's go home and I'll talk to...
Yeah, Dad, what's up?
You and your pals call your brother Biscuit?
I'm a senior, he's a freshman. Seniors give freshmen nicknames. It's law of the jungle, Dad.
Yeah, well, this is my law. The law of Lawrence. You are ungiving him that name as of right now. Calling someone Biscuit because they're going through a crisis of sexual identity is hurtful and shaming and damaging, Rodney. As usual, I find myself appalled by how utterly thoughtless you are.
Dad, I don't call Franklin Biscuit because he's a homo.
Rodney!
I call him Biscuit because he's a biscuit shy of 250 pounds.
Oh.
What?
I didn't know Franklin was a fat homosexual.
He's not. He isn't. Fuck me. There was some confusion, especially around this nickname business, but he isn't anything out of the norm.
Whatever.
But you are done calling him Biscuit. Is that clear?
He needs a nickname, Dad.
Little Rodney. Go back to calling him Little Rodney.
You don't think that's gonna scar him psychologically?
Less so than calling him a baked ball of flour and lard.
Great, no problem. Little Rodney, it is.
Thank you. Franklin, remember our talk, son.
Are you hot for Fitzsimmons?
What? No.
Does anyone at school know?
Not retarded, am I?
Anyone starts calling you a faggot but me, and I'll kick their fucking asses.
Tonight, I bring you a story of death and disease, of a single lone man living in a world decimated by a deadly, virulent contagion that has turned the rest of humanity into bloodthirsty vampires. From 1971, starring Charlton Heston, I give you the Omega Man!
Mom! Dad! Uncle Jack! Mom! Dad! Anyone!
What is it?
My God, what's wrong? Another fire? Kidding, I'm kidding.
Calm down, douche.
I got my first rejection letter from Ruborg magazine.
Sweetheart, is that a good thing?
Oh, you don't understand anything. Where's Uncle Jack?
Oh, what don't we understand, champ?
It's not just a form letter. The editor wrote me a personal note at the bottom. Really good effort. Keep writing and keep sending us stories.
That's terrific, son.
Yeah, congratulations on being a failure, Franklin. That rocks.
Uncle Jack can explain it to you. Where is he?
The thing is, your Uncle Jack's not staying with us anymore.
He's gone, Franklin. He's left.
While we were at school?
Lame.
I'm afraid so.
Where'd he go?
We don't know.
Why did he go?
It's complicated.
A combination of factors.
We made a deal.
Franklin, you have to understand.
He was helping me with my stories.
I know, baby.
He was going to help me lose weight.
How? By giving you a tapeworm?
Not the time, Rodney.
Why would he leave me like that?
Lawrence.
We asked him to leave, Franklin. We asked your Uncle Jack to go.
He didn't have a tumor removed. It was lesions. He had lesions scraped from off his brain.
Holy shit.
Do you know what lesions are, son?
No.
They're what you get when you have AIDS, dummy. Holy shit, how'd he get it?
Your Uncle Jack's always led a questionable...
Lawrence, please.
So what? So what if he has AIDS?
Franklin, honey, anything could have
He's
happened.
your brother, Mom!
And you're my children! I couldn't risk anything.
So you banished him? Like a leper?
We thought we could handle it, but it became untenable.
It was a mutual decision. The three of us made it together after some discussion.
I hate you.
Oh, Franklin, don't.
I hate you so much.
All right, Franklin, that's enough.
You know what I wish?
Franklin, shut up.
I wish I got AIDS.
What?
I wish I got AIDS and died.
Don't you ever say such a horrible thing again in my presence. You are never going to get AIDS. You are never going to die. You are going to live a long, miserable, frustrated life, young man, if I have anything to say about it. And guess what, fellas? I do.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, a chilling tale based on true events about one suburban family's descent into terror, madness, and demonic possession. From 1979, I give you the Amityville Horror!
After this short intermission.
This is LA Theatre Works' production of Dr. Cerberus by Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa. Our story continues in Hour 2. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA Theatre Works.
This play is part of LA Theatre Works' Relativity Series of science-themed plays. Lead funding for the Relativity Series is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.